Well, folks, back to the Corvette today. It's kind of cold out, just like a hair shy of 40. It's like 39 degrees. A little chilly this morning. After this afternoon, it's like 2 o'clock. But we're back on the Corvette. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the valves. If you'll remember on my Will She Run video, the valve train was really loud. And I had good oil pressure, so it wasn't because there wasn't any oil pressure up there. So I think what had happened is when I originally went to start this engine the first time a few years back, I noticed all the rocker arms were really loose. And so I opened up the valve covers and I tightened them all down where they're supposed to be. However, it is very possible that from sitting as long as they had, because she probably sat for, you know, a year or 2, 3, 4 before that. I'm guessing 3 or 4 years by that point. So I adjusted the valves and never did get it to run at that point. So I think what happened is maybe the valves, the hydraulic lifters were all collapsed, and I went ahead and tightened them all up on the bottom of the lifter, the collapsed part of the lifter. So now I'm running basically a solid lifter tappet, and when the oil pressure came up, it's trying to open those valves too far, and it's just clattering like crazy. So I think that's what the problem is. We're going to go ahead and open up the valve covers now and see if that's the problem and readjust the valves. So hopefully that's the problem, because if not, we'll have to diagnose a little further and see why we're not getting enough oil up in the valve train. So anyway, here we go. I think a lot of this I'm probably going to dub in music, just simply because there's just not a lot of sense in going through the painstaking, sitting there and explaining every screw that I take out of it. There's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 screws on this valve cover, 4 on the bottom, 3 on the top. Take those off, take all these hoses off, and boop, the valve cover is going to come off. And then we'll see what we got under there. I've got the battery disconnected because we got all sorts of electrified stuff over here that'll make all sorts of pretty sparks and mess stuff up. And I just recently found out that my electric windows aren't working, so that's another project I'll have to tackle. After all that interior taken apart doing what we did in 4-speed swap, I messed up something in the wiring. Nonetheless, that's what I'm going to do now, so just hang tight. I'm probably not going to say much as I'm doing it, because I don't think I have to explain how to unscrew 7 bolts or 8 bolts. I just don't think I need to explain that. So unless y'all can't figure out how to take out these 4 and these 3 up here, then I can't help you. You shouldn't be working on your car. So that's going to do that. Throw a little music in there, make it enjoyable, probably fast forward it some, and then when I get to the part of actually adjusting the valves, then then I'll slow down and talk a little. So anyway, here we go.
I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite, that smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion, that smile's gonna be the end of me. I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite, that smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion, that smile's gonna be the end of me. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite.
Alright, we got the valve cover off. Now what you're gonna see, no, that one feels good. That one feels good. If anything, that's a little loose. Something is weird, because I remember when I adjusted these, I remember screwing them way down far, and now they look really loose. So I don't understand, maybe something's going on over here. Nope. I'm not seeing anything, so these feel pretty good. That one's a tiny bit loose, but nothing I'd worry about, But it looks, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong here, so maybe the valve train noise is just that, some valve train noise. There's some oil up in here, so I'm not thinking that there's anything wrong that way. What I'm going to do is I vaguely remember when I did these that I just brought them down to 0 lash. And actually when you go 0 lash, you're supposed to go 0 lash, which I'm at right now, definitely at 0 lash. And then you're supposed to go a quarter turn from there. And I think, I remember going back, oh shoot, I forgot to go my quarter turn. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and do my quarter turn from 0 lash, and I'm just going to put her on back together. And basically all I'm doing is I'm putting the ratchet up at 12 o'clock, and I'm just bringing it down to 3 o'clock. And that should give me about 100 thousandths lash. So going from 0 to 100. And I know, like normally if you're going to adjust your valves, you would move the engine till you're on, till both valves are closed, and then you would go ahead and bring it down to 0 lash where there's no play in the rocker, and then you would do your quarter turn. But since I've already done that in the past, and I was just getting some noise, I decided I'm just going to go ahead and assume that I've already done 0 lash, and now I've gone to 100 thousandths. There we go. 100 thousandths preload, and none of my rocker arms feel loose now. So that hopefully will get rid of the chatter. They're just, you can get them to move, but now if it's still noisy, we'll pull the valve cover back off, and we'll make sure that my push rods are spinning while it's running. But the way it was set up just a few minutes ago, they were definitely spinning because they were very loose. But now I think we should be good, so I'm going to go ahead and put the valve cover back on. I'll do the other side, and that's pretty much going to be the valve train part of this. Since we got way ahead of ourselves, I may go ahead and start on doing the front conversion, because this is a truck configuration. I took this engine out of a truck originally, and so it's got the long water pump. It is not Corvette friendly. It's kind of, shall we say, jury rigged. And so we're going to fix it right, and we're going to bought all the Corvette. Now, here's a little tip. When buying Corvette stuff, I went online, started looking, and I even went to the guys that I deal with, and they usually treat me pretty good. I went to them to buy Corvette pulleys. $120 something a piece for the crank pulley, and another $100 and something for the water pump pulley. And it was like $400 for pulleys. Go to Summit Racing. Not getting paid for that, by the way. Go to them. Sure enough, the Corvette one, like $140. Like, jeepers crap. But if I just buy big block Chevrolet, short water pump, front crank pulley, it's like $39. Looks exactly the same. There you go. Buy big block Chevy stuff or small block Chevy stuff. Try to avoid the word Corvette when you're buying your parts, because they soak you for them. But if you just buy Chevy big block or small block, it's cheap. Anyway, there you go. There's your tip for the day.
Say something, bud. You are all that I see. You got dynamite. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion. That smile's gonna be the end of me. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion. That smile's gonna be the end of me. You cannot lie over my tie. You cannot lie over my tie. You cannot lie over my tie. Let's take each other out. You cannot lie over my tie. You cannot lie over my tie. You cannot lie over my tie. Let's take each other out. 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 say something, bud. You are all that I see. You got dynamite. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I wanna say something, bud. You are all that I see. You got dynamite. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion, and that smile's gonna be the end of me. That smile's gonna be the end. I wanna say something, but you are all that I see. You got dynamite. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion. That smile's gonna be the end of me. You cannot lie over my time. You cannot lie over my time. You cannot lie over my time. Let's take it to the ground. You cannot lie over my time. You cannot lie over my time. You cannot lie over my time. Let's take it to the ground.
After all that, it's time to see if she'll run. See if she sounds any better than she did before. Now I gotta make a few unfinished pieces underneath the dash I gotta work on. We'll go ahead and pump her a couple of times. Let's get the pump priming. You'll hear the pump start up in a minute. Here she is. Pump it a couple of times. Make sure she's in neutral. Yep, she's in neutral. Here we go. Fire in the hole! Well, that was all well and good, except for there's a spark plug just a laying here. Don't ask me how that happened. But thanks to those ceramic tips, good. She sounded pretty good for 7 cylinders. And I don't know what that dink, 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 dink is all about. It's not in the valve train. We use the old stethoscope, and they sound uniform in there. And so that dink, 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 I'm not sure what that is. It may be somewhere else. Maybe torque converter. I might have to get up underneath there. And whew, I better open the garage door. But anyway, there we go. 7 cylinders. We'll hook up that spark plug wire. She'll run a lot better. But you heard her idle. Heard her rev. That's going to be it for this video. I need to, phew, eyes are burning. I better go open the door. Whew. Alright, fix the spark plug wire. Let's see if she sounds a little better. Fire in the hole. Sounds better. Tick is gone. Must have been that cylinder not firing. But anyway, folks, that's it. I'm not going to kill myself with fumes. Fix the wire. We're good to go. Thanks for watching. Well, that's the end of this episode. I was actually hoping to take it for its first drive in 5 years. But I realized that there's still a bunch of wires and covers and switches and stuff under the dash that I haven't gotten around to fixing yet. So I need to get all that tucked up inside there because my feet would get caught up in all those wires taking it for a drive. So when are you going to do that? Pretty excited. She's running really good now. It was weird, that spark plug wire blowing off like that, but and I got that weird knocky-knock sound. I'm thinking I better check the flywheel bolts, or it actually sounds like it's coming from the front. Maybe the pulley is hitting, maybe the alternator is coming apart on the inside. It's definitely not coming from the valve train, because I checked that. So, I don't know, we'll find it. We're about to redo everything in the front anyway, so hopefully that'll take care of that nickety-knockety sound. But that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this one. Do me a favor and subscribe. Thanks for watching this. And, yeah, that's all I got. Thanks.